Hello and welcome. I've been wanting to say this for a while. Welcome to 100 weeks of Supercharged Fridays. Yep, did it. And I want to thank you. I want to do a couple of things today with you. You're watching. You know the drill. If you've been around even a little bit, come in the comments and say hello. Join me. We're gonna celebrate and we're gonna learn together. If you know me, I'm not sitting around faffing around, sharing fluff, but I obviously want to make your life, our lives collectively a little bit better. And I'm going to share some interesting facts about live streaming, which I think no matter where you are in your journey when it comes to being on social media, hopefully that will help you. So if you're around, I need proof. And I'm a dopamine dealer. So I live off of hello, I live off of likes and comments and hearts and shares and all of that stuff. I live for that stuff. So please drop that in there and say hello. And if you've been on the journey with me, whether it's been a month, whether it's been from the beginning, I don't think from the beginning because I started in January 2020 and I see a lot of those people no longer there, which is fine. We're all sort of moving along. Whether you've been there for about 100 weeks, whether you've been there for 2 weeks, you're welcome. I'm like so happy you're here. And in case you're wondering, this is December. This is what I do in December. Last week was my birthday. I did something more ridiculous. So this is what we do on Supercharged Fridays in December. All right. So thank you for joining in. Thank you for the wonderful comments. Happy you guys are here. Happy for your support. Grateful for your support. Centurion. And the funny thing is, we're just getting started, right? Maruti, it's such a long way to go. So thank you. Now, I want to share a few things with you about live streaming today because I think that no matter where you are in your journey, I think this is an avenue that you want to think about. And I want to say a special shout out to Risto, who's been a huge supporter. And he's also been a guest he's a friend now. So before we get started, I do want to say that um, like I said, you can be live and you can be having fun. It's a lot more fun when you have an audience, right? So you guys are there, it's amazing. I don't really care whether they're like 10, 15, 20, 100. It doesn't matter. It's that one person that I know that this is being shared with one person. Anybody more than one is already a cherry on the cake. So big thank you to you for being a part of this journey. And the other thing I want to say is I'm going to be sharing some things about live streaming, some stats, some fun facts. I don't want you to get overwhelmed, okay? Because you've just got to crawl. You got to crawl. First, I think you sit in a baby's milestones. I think you first learn how to sit, then you learn how to crawl, then you start cruising, when you hold your parents' hands or you hold furniture, like you hold on to furniture, and then you start moving. That's cruising. Technically, that's the term they use. Then you leave your parents' hand and then you start walking. If you can call it walking, it's more like a penguin, right? And you fall a lot. And then you start running. Okay. When it comes to this journey, a lot of people think live streaming before they do anything. And that is the equivalent of skipping the crawling, the sitting, the cruising, and the walking and going straight to running. So please, please, please don't get overwhelmed. This is such an important part. And what does this look like? I'm going to be sharing this as well. So I prepared a little presentation and I see people from around the world. Thank you guys for joining. Devika is in Hong Kong. It's past 9 p.m. Thank you, Devika. As always, I can't believe I've been doing this 100 weeks and I still have to ask this question. Please let me know that you can see my screen. This is like the most basic thing, and yet I still have to ask. Can you see my screen? Yes? Yes. Okay. Let's get cracking. I want to share with you stuff that I've learned over the last 100 weeks. Does that make me an expert? Definitely not, right? A big disclaimer. There's some things that I've seen other people doing when they live stream I don't agree with. Some of it I agree with. That doesn't make me like an expert saying this is the way it should be done, but I do have certain opinions. So let's talk about live stream. Okay, I hope you like the title. So in case you're like, holy heck, who the heck is she, a quick introduction, because if this is your first time, you're a little bit confused. Why am I talking about 100 weeks? I've done this about 99 times on Supercharge Fridays. I'm a career strategist, HR director, lived and worked around the world, have an MBA, worked in small, medium, large companies. I got a very nice podcast. If you don't listen, you're missing out. We talk to career professionals like you and me from around the world who got a dream job, and you're like, how did you get that job? We peel those layers back. And having lived and worked abroad, I speak a bunch of languages that I love. And the firm I have is called Supercharge, right? And I particularly help one-on-one in groups. I help C-level or mid to senior level executives with their challenges, whatever it is they're going through. We work on it one-on-one together, and these are people around the world. All right, now, okay, who's ready to learn about live streams? I want to take a little see what's happening in the comments, because when I share, I can't see comments. Who's ready? Who's ready for, like, put it in the comments. If you're catching me on the replay, put in hashtag replay. If you're ready to learn about live stream, put it in the comments. Ready. Come on, like, give me something. Thank you, Noel. Thank you. Appreciate you being here, Sahil. Wonderful. Okay, who's ready? Who's ready to get like into it? Come on, tell me. This is really quiet. All right, ready. I got one ready and I got two readies and I'm going for it. Okay, awesome. Let's do this. Okay. Now, I didn't realize I stopped sharing. Give me a second. I'm so excited. Okay, let's do it. Live stream ready. Awesome. Okay, so a little bit of like experience. What have I done? So basically, I went live on Friday, first time, 17th of Jan 2020, and exactly 2 months later, lockdown happened. Little did I know, obviously, right? And I did it for about an hour. And I'll also talk about tools, etc., because I think that sometimes the tech can trip us up a little bit. I've been doing this for about approximately an hour every single Friday. And I'm proud to say I haven't missed a single Friday. Not one. Not one. Okay. And we'll talk about your purpose and why you want to do this. What does it mean to go live? This is the closest thing to being on a stage. And I don't mean a virtual stage where they have like a fancy backdrop. I mean a physical, proper podium, like a stage. But you're doing this from the comfort of your own home, right? So you've got people watching, whether it's whatever platform it is you've chosen, they are there in real time. So they are watching everything you're saying and they are like very much like commenting, engaged, or they should be, right? Because what's the point of being on stage if everyone is asleep on the other side? And it doesn't really matter how many. The point is, it's a stage and there's people watching. Uh, and there's something to be said about the live aspect of it. The energy is very different. Now, you guys, I've seen sometimes it's very normal, right? Sometimes you don't catch things live. So you catch things on the replay, which is okay. Why? Because you have a life. But I'm sure you'll agree with me that replay is not the same as live, because it's like literally the thing that you're saying. I'm reading it like this very second. I'm flashing your comment on the screen. It's a little, it's different, it's exciting, right? The energy, the vibration. I want you to now learn, like, understand a little bit about live stream stats. These are some stats that I picked up from the internet that I think are very interesting. In 2019 alone, this is 2019, by the way, so this is pre-lockdown, so it'll be way more now in 2020. Internet users were watching like billions of hours of live stream, right? And I've put the research in there, the source of the research. And the video streaming market is projected to hit, like, oh my God. I mean, it is just so raw right now. It is so nascent. It's like this, practically like this newborn baby, right? And there's 47% of live streaming video viewers worldwide that are streaming more live video than the year before. Now, remember, this research is like, I don't have the latest research right now. Maybe I should have done it, but I haven't done it. I prepared this some time ago. The numbers will be humongous now. And the thing is, when you're watching a live broadcast, now tell me if you see this and you agree with it. They feel like they watch less live TV because of a live stream. Does that make sense? Do you agree with that? I'm just going to go back and see where you guys are in the comments. Does that make sense? Yes. Do you actually feel? I want to poll you because you're already here. And it's interesting to see if you agree with this point of view. Oh, I didn't realize I have a comment here. I'm gonna take this out. Sorry, Prabhat. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. Okay, let's take that out. Let's take out this. Okay, it's a bit cleaner. Do you feel like your consumption, right? Your consumption of TV, your consumption, particularly of anything that's live, does that go down because you're watching maybe more live broadcasts, whether it's on your phone or whether it's on your laptop? Uh, Varsha, that's a good question. I don't think everyone will go live. It sounds like they might, but I don't think so. Welcome to all the new viewers. Fantastic. So, I'm going to see if we have time today. I'll get to your questions, but the idea today is not questions. I'll do questions next week and the week after because I want to focus today on the topic, which is live streaming. All right. So, the other two stats that I wanted to share with you is there's basically point is consumers are streaming way more video than before, live streaming video. Like consumer, as a person, you're consuming live stream, right? Much more. And like I said, this is old data. And live streaming is expected to account for 82% of all internet traffic in end of 2020. I wonder what it'll be like at the end of 2021. Point is, you can't ignore it anymore. It's not one of those new kind of cool, fun things. So I want to ask you, who can live stream? Who do you think can live stream? And when I say who, I mean um not like what type of people, outgoing, confident. I don't mean that. I mean professions. Oh, shucks. Oh, please tell me you didn't see that. Please tell me you didn't see that. Because I kind of gave it away. Stop sharing. Bad. Bad. No, you didn't see that. What kind of people do you think can live stream? Yeah, give me some points in the comments. Who do you think can live stream according to you? Since you already saw it, I'm gonna get into it. Okay. Okay. Who can live stream? The number one that people think of is video gamers, right? They're playing a game or like they're watching someone play a game. This is really popular with kids, right? Reaction videos to how are they playing a certain game. Entrepreneurs, they're talking about funding a new product, a new launch, something about their services. How exciting, right? Large companies, I see once in a while LinkedIn will live stream, they'll talk to someone, or Accenture CEO will be on a live stream, or British Telecom, or a large company in India is like live streaming because they're talking to their employees, but they're also talking to the whole world. So it's kind of like a gigantic press conference. My point is, everyone can do it. We are no longer in 2021, we are no longer restricted to who we think belongs on a screen doing a live stream. No one can stop you if you want to start live streaming. Like literally no one. You've got everything in the power, like with your phone to get started. I recommend a laptop, but my point is nothing can stop you from doing it. What are the benefits of live streaming? Let's see what's happening. Do you guys have anything to share in the comments? Want to see what's going on? Yeah. Anyone? Yeah. Yeah. It's easy. It's not hard. Anyone that has something to share. Exactly. Exactly. Now, can you tell me a little bit about what you think are the benefits of live streaming? And you know what, LinkedIn user, I'm going to see who you are. Anyone who knows the art of storytelling? It's a good point. Let's see who you are. Okay, it's a bit slow on LinkedIn. Anyone who knows. Shipra, not necessary. Sometimes you don't know. You start and you learn and then you know. But that shouldn't prevent you from starting. I don't know what I knew. I knew crap. You started anyway. Learn along. And some people like that because they feel like they're along with you for the journey. They're learning with you together. You become a little bit more accessible. That know, like, and trust factor becomes a little bit more interesting, right? So tell me something. I want to know. Yeah, I saw that. Thanks, Varsha. So, what are some benefits? Oh, shit. I'm asking you a question and I'm already sharing my screen. Ugh. Never mind. What are the benefits of live streaming? People of all ages are watching live streams right now. All ages. I kid you not. I get messages from 14-year-olds. I get messages from 80-year-olds, 85-year-olds. Okay? Everyone's on live stream. Everyone's consuming. Someone in your target audience, whether you're looking for a job, whether you're looking for business, whether you're looking to establish a voice, somebody in your target audience is watching. There's another huge benefit is you come, people see a little bit more of you. They learn more about you. And they also see like you're a real human being, right? It's not like an article or a post. It's different. Or even a very polished video on YouTube. Live stream is like you're real, like everyone else. Yeah, I don't dress like this all the time. So I wouldn't say this is 100% authentic, but you know what? It's December and it's 100 weeks of Supercharge Fridays, and it's my show. I can do what I want, right? There's a lot more trust. I would say trust is established, according to me, in that sort of three-step process. The first is written. If you're nowhere on any social platform, the trust is not there, right? It takes time. First is written. I would say second is video, because when you're on video, people also feel like they can relate with you. So many people who do video, they get that feedback. Live streaming is a whole different level because you're there at the same time. Anytime you mess up, which happens a lot, because technology can sometimes be a great friend and sometimes it can be a narcissistic enemy. It happens to everyone. So people feel like, okay, it's okay. You're like me. And you want to establish a certain credibility, a certain, I know the word personal brand is thrown around like anything, but you, because you're live streaming, people feel like they can get to know you a little bit, and it's very hard to fake it during a live stream. You either know your stuff or you don't, right? And because it comes across like you know your stuff, you get invited to interesting events, paid events, fun things. And it obviously deepens your network and new friendships. It goes without saying. There's people I know in the audience who I literally just got to know because of live streaming, because they, would come in regularly and comment, and I'm like, who is this person? This is so interesting. And then before you know it, friendships form, right? And I'm pretty sure these are lifelong friendships because you spend an hour with this person every week. That's not a joke, right? Make sense? And the fun thing is, this is a fun one, but I find this opposite in my case. People are 3 times more likely to watch something live than to watch a replay on the internet, like a broadcast, right? In my case, I've noticed I get a lot more engagement on replays because, timings don't suit everyone. In Europe, it's the middle of the workday. It's a little bit early in the US, and it's a little bit late in Asia. It's Friday. People are getting home. They want to spend time with their family, or it's dinner time, right? So it'll never be perfect. That's okay. But while they are, if they can, they really, really prefer to watch you live. Make sense? Yes? What is happening in the comments? Yeah, to friendship. So many cool friends. So many cool friends that I've learned, got to know. And getting to know someone and friendship, I don't use that term lightly. Like friendship. Like I go to Hong Kong. I know Devika will say, come over, spend some days with me. I know if I do that with Chicago, Erica will do the same. So it's so cool. And the same with Ohio. I don't remember the city. Is it Cleveland? Oh, not sure. But Jeff, I'm going to come over. So these are things that are fun. that you get to know. But it doesn't start like that, right? It doesn't start like that. So a lot of people get seduced by like, oh, that is what it's going to look like, but it takes time. So now that I've kind of seduced you about the fun things, now let's talk about the work. Okay. The thing is, we talked about in the beginning, we talked about crawling, cruising, walking, and running, independently running, right? Now, live streaming for me is here. And if you haven't been through these steps, some people will say, so what? My baby was very clever. Have you guys heard that? I want to see this in the comments. Have you guys seen that? Like you have these milestone maniac moms and dads who think that their child started walking early or talking early, so that reflects on. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, it reflects on their intelligence. Like the parents, feel like they're more intelligent compared to you. So, like, my kid went from sitting to walking. My kid never crawled. Like, okay, that's cool. That's absolutely fine. The point is, if you skip the crawling, cruising, walking, and you go straight to running, there's nothing wrong with it. But I do want to say that there will be more accidents. It goes without saying, because the practice, the base is not that strong, right? So you might like pedal, etc. So the crawling for me is the equivalent of commenting on people's posts. One of the easiest things to do. Comment on company posts, comment on individual posts. I'm talking juicy comments, not great post and I agree. And thank you for posting. Thank you for sharing. I can't make more fart sounds. Like, that is the worst thing you can ever do. Do not thank people for posting. You did nothing for yourself. You did nothing for the post. Yes, a comment helped the post, but it was an empty comment. I think my friend Kevin calls it a drive-by comment. Like, hi, bye, doesn't know anything. So a juicy comment, right? That's crawling because you're doing it on someone else's perspective. The cruising is like sharing an article from Harvard Business Review or an interesting thing you saw in Forbes. That's cool. You give it a little bit of your own spin and then you share why you liked it. That's great. Walking is like a little text post starting out, something, a poll, something safe that you feel comfortable. And that can also include short videos. You've conjured up the confidence to be in front of the camera. And finally, running is like, I'm ready. I'm ready. It doesn't matter how messed up it is. I'm ready to go live. So remember the journey. Remember where you're on in the journey. I think that really matters, because you just want to be careful that you don't rush things and you don't have unnecessary accidents. You will have accidents, but as much as possible, we want to minimize the pain. Make sense? All right. Ready for the tips to like coming from tried and tested experience, not stuff that you will see online, but ready to learn a little bit more. Let me know. I'm going to make this not a very longish live stream. I'm going to keep it as far as possible. I'm going to keep it a bit short. Thank you, Haley. Awesome. Thank you. The impact is one of the things I live for, so really, really appreciate you dropping in. Okay, let's talk about the tips. The first one, you want to be careful about the SOS. I call that the shiny object syndrome. Choose one platform and live with the choice. Wherever you decide to be live, it's like this restaurant, you got a menu card and you're like, you want every dish on the menu. That's not how it works. You're gonna feel sick, you're gonna feel tired, you're gonna feel burnt, and then you're gonna go to the loo and you're gonna have an awful time. Choose one. When I say choose one, I chose these three, but I'm not contradicting myself because I happen to be live on these three. But when I started with one. My point is, my target audience typically tends to be on YouTube and LinkedIn. I don't want to focus too much on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok. So choose one and don't get distracted by shiny object syndrome. Now be ready to experiment. There are different formats when you want to go live. You can go live outside your house, you can go live inside, you can talk to the audience alone like I'm doing today. That's what I did, by the way, for the first 8 weeks or so. You can do it with a guest, you can do I don't know. I know someone who does a quiz online, like live quiz. Be prepared for a little bit of experiment, but give the experiments time, right? And also give the whole process time. People are like, I've done it for 4 weeks. I didn't see the ROI, so I'm not going to do it anymore. So we're going to talk about that as well. But be prepared with the format. Be prepared if you want to. If you're not happy with the platform, be prepared to change it up a little bit. Try another platform. Try another social media platform. Most important is you got to take your ego out of the equation. And one of the biggest reasons a lot of us will prevent, will not do this is because our ego will keep us safe. It'll do its best to keep us safe. If you don't live stream, you're not going to make an ass of yourself. So don't bother. The point is, this isn't about you. If you make the whole live stream about you, you're not really going to get anyone to watch. And all hundreds of people watching must be fantastic. um Likes and hearts, I ask for them. I said it in the beginning, I'm a dopamine dealer. It makes me happy, sure, but they don't do anything for me, right? Yes, they bolster up the post, but you can get a lot of people to come and watch. You can beg them to come, but that doesn't mean anything, right? You want quality and quantity, but don't go insanely for vanity. Like, I wanted this person to watch, he didn't watch today. Yeah, then it makes me focus. Then it makes me ask, like, what is your why are you doing this? Now, that is the single most important thing that I think I want to talk about briefly today. Why you want to do this. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people will actually give up on why they're doing it. Why do you want to do it? Please put it in the comments. If you are thinking about starting a live stream, why do you want to do it? And it doesn't have to be a big, noble Mahatma Gandhi, um, Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa quote. Please spare yourself and spare me the dishonesty. Be clear. Why do you want to do it? Honest reason. Okay. I'll tell you my honest reason. I started in 2020 in January, and I wanted a way to connect. I wanted a way to connect with the audience. I wanted to show up for one underdog who'd been having a bad week, and I wanted to help that person no matter where they live. I was always thinking about one person. And the other reason is I wanted to show myself that I can do it. I talked about it last year when I did 50 Supercharged Fridays. I shared some learnings from there. And that those reasons haven't changed. Okay. So if you're doing it for something like, I want to get an audience, I want to get return on investment, I want to get more views, at some point you will burn yourself out. Because these are short-lived purpose, reason for doing things. It has to be bigger than you. It has to be. Uh, because if it isn't, you'll say, I've done it for 20 weeks now. I'm not saying you have to do it 100 weeks. Let's say you say, I'm going to go live once a month, but then you do it. If you're going to say it, then you're going to do it. Because your why is so strong. Your purpose of wanting to do it is stronger than you, it's stronger than me. Make sense? Shipra, wide reach, get to know more people, share ideas. Good. That's great. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. All right. Fantastic. And Ira says, some reach won't hurt. Share. Yeah. You want to maybe, your purpose is like, I want to connect with other, blockchain aficionados, right? And share ideas. That's great. You're going to attract a certain type of audience. And I think that it's one of the things I'm going to be talking about here, which is yeah. So we talked about that. We talked about ego. Then the other thing I wanted to share is, you just don't know who's watching. Okay. Put on your best foot forward. Don't think that it's zero people. The platform says it's zero, so nobody's watching. So I'll just show up. I'm not gonna prepare. I'm just gonna show up and just be myself and be authentic, like that word gets thrown around. You don't know who's watching. Okay. There's a something called a lazy lurker. It's like people who are watching, but they never comment, they never like your stuff. They're just lazy. I also think of them as lauding. Yeah, the word lauding means someone who's applauding you, someone who's cheering you, but they never do that in public. In my line of work, a lot of people who end up buying from me never, ever, ever wrote an email or wrote a message on LinkedIn or nothing, because they don't want to be seen as someone who needs a coach. Okay. Yeah, it's just the line of work I'm in. But you don't know in your line of work who's watching. So you want to be good and you want to present yourself in the best possible light. Next, don't overthink it. Anything you want to talk about, it's already been done by someone. Anything you can think of. There are no topics today that I can say I have an idea and I something about a field that we've never ever talked. It's been done, but it's not been done by you. So don't go nuts thinking it has to be perfect and it has to be the right equipment and you already have everything you need. If you're watching this, chances are you have a phone or a laptop. That's enough. I would say start with a computer if you can. Most of us have computers, whether it's from work or home. That's enough. The last thing I'm going to say is your consistency and persistence will pay off. You got to get comfortable when you start that no one is really watching or reading or listening. That's okay. I've put in a book here, which is a great book by Timothy Galloway. Not only is the reason because I like the book, the other reason I've put this book here is because I did a live stream. I remember it was back in February 2020. So I was live streaming for about a month. I think this must have been my fourth. And I remember being live and talking about this book and how this book has, kind of changed how I view things. I was like doing a book report, but I tried to keep it like, engaging, etc. So I had like very few people watching that day. And one guy came in the comment section and he wrote like, what a boring live stream. Like, I don't even know why three people are watching. It should have been zero. I feel bad for you. So let me put in a hello and see how, if you need any help. And this is live. This person wrote this live. Like, it broke my heart. Um, and there has been like other instances, the tech has screwed up. I was unwell. I had COVID. I broke my ankle. It was the kid's birthday party. It was Christmas Day. It was New Year's Day. Whatever. Point is that it comes back to your purpose and persistence. They're not opposites. You got to do it even when it gets hard. And I would say, especially when it gets hard. Because otherwise, you're kind of flaking, right? And you're not really in it for the right reasons, if you know what I mean. And I remember after that day in Feb, I was like, I did ask myself, what am I doing? I prepared like PowerPoint and everything. These are not monetized, right? So unlike like a lot of platforms, I don't get money by going live every time on LinkedIn. So, the question does come up like, why are you doing this? So it has to be bigger than that. The fact that it's not monetized is not a problem. So you gotta have that in mind because I can't stress that enough. Because if you don't, it will like you will flounder. And Ira, back to your point, I think that's a great thing that you said. The more specific you are about a certain topic, the better it is. Lots of good things happen in those niches, riches in the niches. Make sense? All right. Quick thing. What do you need to start on a live stream? Like, obviously, you need a laptop. I would say if choosing between a Wi-Fi and an Ethernet cable, I would say go for Ethernet cable. Okay, I've been live enough times and had enough problems over the years to know that the Wi-Fi is not strong enough because the bandwidth you need to be live, Wi-Fi cannot take it. Even if you have I have the best Wi-Fi. I think in Belgium I'm paying a lot per month, but there are times when my face will come up in squares, or it just like glitches a lot. Start with something free. The best thing is you don't need money to get started. You don't, right? I have a nice microphone now. I have a ring light now. I got a nicer camera, but this happened a year later, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to do this regularly. I might as well enjoy it and like something that I actually use something that I actually like. So StreamYard is great because it's like, no offense to anyone watching, but it's perfect for dummies. Live streaming for dummies. I love StreamYard for that. So if you guys are interested in starting, and if you're thinking about StreamYard, even if you start with the free thing, drop me a little comment or send me a DM. and I'll send you a link so you can get started. By doing that, you are, it's like an affiliate thing. So I get like a teeny tiny commission in all transparency. But I would not talk about it if I weren't happy with it. Like, come on, 100 live streams, and I don't know how many friends I referred it to. So StreamYard is relatively simple. There are other platforms out there, so please do your research. Somebody says StreamYard is bad and they haven't had a good experience with it, then see what else is out there. There are a couple of them out there. Like I said, I found it the best for dummies starting. Now, whatever it is you're planning to do, you got to prepare a bit of a flow. You got to prepare a little bit of a flow, right? What are you going to talk about? I prepare like bullet points usually if I'm alone, so I don't ramble like an idiot. People don't have time, right? They can be doing something else. If they're going to give you their time, make it worth it. It doesn't matter that it's for free. Doesn't matter. Okay? I treat this like a job. So come up like a professional. So even if I'm like, hey, today is ask me your questions, ask me all questions you have, ask me anything. I'll do those type of sessions once in a while. I'm always prepared. What if no one shows up? I have the opposite problem. I'm very grateful. I'm very lucky. So I have like way more questions than I can answer. So I have to run through them very quickly. But in case no one shows up, I have prepared 4 questions that have come in my DMs anyway, and I'm going to be sharing those. So always be prepared. Have a bit of a flow. And if you have a guest, prepare some questions in advance with the guest. And then tell everyone that you're going to be live. Tell everyone. Tell their grandma, tell their dog. I don't care. Okay. And then prepare ahead. If you have an idea, okay, what does January look like? I think I want to do this in Feb. I want to do this in March. It helps because there's no stress. And you got to enjoy it, man. You got to enjoy it. All these tactics will be easy. But literally, all you need is a webcam, which has a decent audio. You need a laptop. You need a streaming platform like StreamYard, and you're all set. And the content plan, what does that mean? What does that look like? Think about what people want to help with. What do people or companies need help with? If you're a job seeker, maybe, I don't know, how about inviting one day a hiring manager and talking about a certain position or difficulties? Of course, that takes courage. I'm not saying you start that if you've never posted on LinkedIn in your whole life, right? But this is such a great way of being seen, such a great way of showing credibility and authority in that space that you operate in. You want to talk to a guest about recruiting. What are the challenges in recruiting these days? Right? And typically, guests don't say no. They're very happy to get publicity and share all of that, right? You will, after some point, you will develop an audience because there'll be people who'll be interested. All right. So, quick recap. This is something that's worth reflecting on. Beware of shiny object syndrome. You got to experiment this or that. Take your ego, chuck it out of the window. Trust me, that is the hardest thing that you will ever do, but you'll thank yourself for it. Beware of that overthinking and overwhelm, because we got to start like simple baby steps and showing up even when you don't feel like it. I have to be honest, I've always felt like it. I love it. But not everybody does. But it really makes a difference when you feel like it. You got to watch out though. One quick thing, watch out who you take feedback from. Let's say you start live streaming and there's a friend or someone who's always got a comment. Could you do this? When I started in the beginning, I remember it was, relatives and friends, and you were like, do this little differently. If I were you, I wouldn't read comments in the middle of a presentation. It just disrupts the flow. Beware. Have they done anything live on camera in their whole life? If the answer is no, please don't listen to them. You want to listen to people who are already doing what you want to do, right? Anyone else doesn't know what they're talking about. I'm sorry. Very strong. No, don't listen to that. No. It's like someone giving you marriage advice and they've never had a husband or a wife. Please watch out who you take feedback from. Finally, find a platform that works for you. Jump on it, okay? Because you don't want to miss the boat on live streaming. Live streaming is the future of video content. It's already here. It's not even the future, and it's only going to continue to grow. This is, of course, by digital marketing guru Neil Patel. Was this helpful? Was this useful? Give me likes, give me hearts, give me comments. Share this. Tag your friends who are thinking about live streaming. Tag them. Share this with whoever you think is thinking about it. You got all the tools in there to get started. One quick thing I will say is, if you want to get started on LinkedIn, the rules have changed. Okay. It used to be in the past that you had to apply and they will sit on it, and you may get it, you may not get it. I know people who've been waiting for years. Now things have changed a little bit because there's something called creator mode on LinkedIn. Okay. So if you turn your creator mode on, a lot of great people to follow. Jeff Young is watching. Jeff has so many articles on creator mode, and Kevin D. Turner, etc. So many people. You got to turn that on and then start with some small short form videos, etc. The chances of getting accepted and getting LinkedIn live are very high, right? Having said that, please don't do it if you think it's fashionable and everyone is doing it. Please don't do it. I know people who are great on video, they don't want to live stream, they prefer writing articles. I know people who are great on video and they don't want to write articles, they write little blog posts with an image because they say they can't dedicate time to live streaming. I respect that. Don't start something if you don't think you'll continue. Start slowly, but also follow your strength. If you're better at writing, if you're better at an audio, maybe think of a podcast, right? Maybe a live podcast, that's okay. But go with the strengths. So that's fantastic. Hey, that's awesome. Ira, can't wait to see you get started. That's amazing. All right, fantastic. So, yes, thank you. This is what I wanted to share about live streaming. If this has been helpful, let me know in the comments that this has been helpful. Thank you for being here. This is not easy. It's a lot of work, but I love it. And this is just the beginning. It's 100 weeks to the next 100. And if you're watching this, um you're here, you're live with me, that means a lot. I started like literally 2 months after I started. Like I said, the world changed, we went into lockdown, and so many friends and family, I haven't seen in 2.5 years, so many. So this is a great way to connect with other human beings, so it means a lot to me. Yeah, so I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And I'm going to be live, obviously, the next 2 weeks. There will be Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. Maybe you're around, maybe you're not around. You've got a life, you're with family, friends, parties. That's fine. I'll be here. I'll be here like half an hour. Last time, what I did was I shared a Christmas story online, like read it online with you guys. There were quite a few of you because not everyone is in a position to be in parties and socialize today. So I'll be there. If you're feeling low and this is not the best time of the year for you, and mental illness, mental health is out like the window, I'll be there. And if you'll have like specific questions about careers, etc., I'll be here for that. Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So next 2 weeks, and January is going to be packed with some fantastic sessions that I've lined up for you guys, with guests that some of them have been on, some of them have not been on, but very, very juicy topics. So thank you for being here. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, 101.